Hey, this is Josh with the Evergreen Creative Company, and I just want to address the coronavirus and how it's affecting the wedding industry, and especially just with my clients, and try to get some alternatives and some different ideas of how we could still accomplish to have your wedding covered, whether it's photos or videos, with Evergreen Creative Company. And this might actually spur some attention with even other vendors that might be able to support this kind of ideas and be able to still provide the kind of services that we want to for our clients, because at the end of the day, like, we just really care about our clients. We want to provide the best service as possible. We also want the best experience as possible. And I know that this virus is not a fun deal for anybody. Our company has felt the effects from it with some cancellations, with different aspects, whether it's corporate or even wedding type stuff. So we've definitely felt the impact from this whole issue that we're having with this virus. It's not anything I've ever planned for. I don't think anybody in the industry has planned for anything like this. And we just want to all just be able to take care of our clients and take care of our customers. One of the things that I want to emphasize is that rescheduling is probably the best idea and way to go about this thing. So if you're within this time period, which is pretty much the rest of this month in April, that you might want to consider rescheduling. And I actually had one rescheduled today, and it was such a great experience because we all felt this relief, because I actually had that date open and we're able to still cover their wedding. It's gonna be later in the fall for that particular wedding, so I was really grateful that we were able to take care of that. I've had other phone calls that are trying to kind of go over all the options and see what's best. So that's really what I want to do for this video, and I'm gonna emphasize the reschedule thing again. That's really the best option in my opinion if you want to retain our services. You've already put down your retainer fees, so there's going to be no kind of financial strain on that end, and we just move the date. That's it. We just make that amendment to the contract and we move the date to when we're available. So with that said too, Evergreen, we are also able to cover more than one wedding on a particular day because we're able to split up into teams. So that's a big benefit to work with Evergreen Creative. So even if we have a wedding booked on the date that you want to reschedule to, potentially and more than likely we could still cover your wedding. If you don't want to reschedule, there's a couple ideas that I've had that I would love to work with you about. If you want to go about still capturing your wedding ceremony, your vows and things like that, there's micro weddings to where you have basically immediate family, just really close loved ones, friends or family, under that 50-person limit or less, and then of course the photographers, videographers to cover that time. And what that does, it's still an intimate moment. It's actually a really cool concept if you think about it. We really concentrate on the couple and we're able to capture that story that you guys have. There's also the elopement kind of style wedding that you could potentially do. We could go off somewhere. We could find a pretty spot out in the wilderness, or like just a really nature area, or potentially even the venue that you had already booked, to where we could capture an elopement style wedding. We could still have highlight film, prep shots, the ceremony, some different elements after that, and really be able to capture you guys in your love story and how you guys met and all that. So that way we can still tell your story, but just in a different way. It just won't be like that full wedding like you might have been planning for. Another option to consider is that you could do that micro wedding or elopement style wedding and have a reception at a later date, to where you still get to be married on the date that you plan to get married on, but then you can celebrate it with everybody once this whole virus thing blows over. I love photography and videography just as much as the other, but this kind of situation helps the video side of things in the sense that, let's say that you have family members and loved ones that can't make it to the wedding, they're still going to be able to see and experience through video all the elements from the day. We are still planning to attend each wedding that we're scheduled for, as long as there is no regulations preventing us from doing so. And lastly, just to anybody that has booked us and are considering rescheduling, and perhaps your photographer or videographer is not able to do so, just as a reminder, and this is not to take away from any other business at all or whatsoever, we are able to cover photography and videography for weddings. We actually just had a photo video wedding this last weekend and it went great. It was a great time. Kristen, Caleb, and myself really enjoyed that wedding. So being able to take care of photography and videography is definitely a goal for us, and we want to do that for our couples. But in this situation, it could be a little bit different. I know that you might be planning for one vendor to take care of one thing, but sometimes we all just have to work together in this wedding industry. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out. You can go to evergreen.co. We got all the contact information there. give me a phone call. I'd love to talk to you on the phone if you have any questions or concerns relating to this virus. We're hoping to take care of everybody in the best way possible. I wish everybody the best health. Let's be smart, let's be safe, and let's get through this tough time together. And we're gonna have still an amazing 2020. I really think that this year is still gonna pack in some great stuff for us later on. So again, if you need anything, just let us know, and we'll see you later.